What's up, all my trader and investor homies? It's your boy Kevin. This is Touchdown Trades. I'm 30 floors below my kitchen in the Touchdown Trades trading bunker and studio. On this channel, we love talking about innovative and disruptive technology and the stocks that are bringing them to the market. And we have a saying: when we like a company, we say the stock's going to the moon, baby. And today, we're going to be talking about 3 stocks where that saying is coming true in literal form, in literal fashion. We're talking about my top 3 space stocks. Now, I got so excited about making this video, I went out and bought my very own spaceship. I got a nice deal on this spaceship, and they gave me a low interest rate, 30-year fixed interest rate on the spaceship. Huh? Hold on a second. I'm making a YouTube video. Kids these days borrow his spaceship for 1 second. I'm the one who bought it, and he wants it back immediately. Sharing is caring, right? You guys know what I'm talking about if you got kids. All right, get your spaceship. Get it out of here. Like I said before I was rudely interrupted, in today's video, we're going to be talking about my top 3 space stocks. Space is a booming industry, and it's just going to grow. And there are some stocks in the sector that have massive growth potential, and that's what we like to see when we're investing. High growth stocks, and there isn't a sector with more opportunity than in space. 20, 30 years from now, we could be looking at a completely different world where space travel is the norm. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. There are different forms of making money in space. You have payload delivery, aka bringing satellites into space, is a booming business. We're going to be breaking down my top 3 companies that I think have massive growth potential in the space sector. So let's quit wasting time, and as always, let's secure the bag by making smart investments in sound trades. Let's get it, baby. It's going to the moon. All right, let's talk about my top 3 space stocks. 3 stocks with high growth potential in the space industry. We're going to be breaking down their business model, how they plan to make money, generate income, talking about whether I think they're good investments, price targets, and breaking down their chart. And at the end of the video, I'll talk about investing in space stocks in general, whether I think it's a good idea and where I think it's headed in the future. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the button for me. Like the button. It helps me and the channel grow, so just go ahead and like the button. Also, if you're not yet a subscriber, consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell so you get alerted every time I post a video. Also, check out the 2 free stocks when you sign up with Webull and deposit $100 when you use my link in the description. You can't beat it. 2 free stocks. What's better than that? All right, let's jump right in and talk about my top 3 space stocks right meow. Stock number 1 is going to be one of the more popular space stocks, and that is Virgin Galactic, ticker SPCE. This is the company that's owned by Russell Branson. We've probably all heard about this company. It is the first company that is trying to make space accessible to everyone. So basically, commercial space flights. You buy a ticket, and you can go to space. It's a very cool business model, cool business plan. Let's break it down. So here I'm on their website, and here we are on their mission statement. We are the world's first commercial space line and vertically integrated aerospace company. With our sister company, the Spaceship Company, we are developing and operating a new generation of space vehicles to open space for everyone. Like I said, they're trying to make space commercially accessible for people who are willing to buy a ticket, just like you would to buy a ticket for a Delta flight to New York City. You can buy a ticket to go to space. Pretty interesting business concept. I'm on their most recent investor presentation, and we got successful test flights, FAA. They are in the FAA approval process, signed Space Act with NASA for private orbital space flight, future astronaut pool. So they already have people signing up to be future astronauts. That's what they call their customers who have already pre-ordered tickets to go to space. Spaceship cabin reveal. So they've revealed what the cabin of the commercial spaceships are going to look like. This all sounds great, right? But is the FAA going to allow Virgin Galactic to do this, to do these commercial space flights? And basically they're saying that they think they're going to be able to get through the FAA approval process. The FAA has given Virgin Galactic 29 requirements to meet, and they have now cleared 27 of the 29 requirements, and they are well on track to meeting the FAA approval process. Here's what the cabins are going to look like. Pretty cool looking cabins there. So if you buy a ticket, that's what your seat would look like when on your ride to space. 12 window around cabin provide a 360-degree awe-inspiring view. 16 cabin cameras plus cockpit and externally mounted cameras generate high definition output for social media and edited personal movie. So when you go to space, you're going to get a video of your experience that you can share on social media or just keep for a keepsake. That's pretty cool as well. So in my opinion, they're basically trying to become the Disney of space, right? This is going to be a tourist attraction. It's pretty interesting. Are they going to be able to do it? We'll see. We'll talk more about that in a second. Spaceport America. So I guess this is going to be like the hub. It's going to be like Disney World for space. You go, you get your astronaut training. It's where you stay before you take your flight. And there probably is going to be like a resort with the astronaut training and just all in one inclusive experience, which is pretty cool. So you maybe go for a week or so, you stay on site, and that is how they're going to be making money. They're making this the Disney World of space. So they already have over 700 pre-orders for the One Small Step Future Astronauts program. So the 700 pre-orders have generated over $80 million in deposits. So this ticket is not cheap, right? To go to Disney World in space, it's not going to be cheap, but people are willing to pay for it. Over 700 people have pre-ordered their tickets and want to go on a Virgin Galactic space ride. So although Virgin Galactic did not post any revenue in the last earnings report, Wall Street analysts are still very bullish on the stock. All 7 analysts who are covering SPCE are giving it a buy rating. UBS, a big analyst, began coverage on Virgin Galactic stock in September with a buy rating. UBS is saying that the space travel industry is going to be a $38 billion industry by the year 2030. So it's going to be a huge industry. Virgin Galactic has the first in foothold, right? They're the first to act, which is going to give them a jump start in the industry, a $38 billion industry by the year 2030. So Virgin Galactic, in my opinion, is going to be the Disney World of space tourism, so I think this stock has a ton of growth potential. If we take a look at the chart here, we see that Virgin Galactic made a huge run up. It ran up from sub $10 all the way to $40 a share and has since pulled back. Why? Because the Rhinoceros Rex and Virgin Galactic did not meet some projected timelines because of the Rhinoceros Rex and having to delay some test flights and that type of thing. But this company is the first to act in the space tourism industry. I think they have massive growth potential. And this is one of those stocks that is either going to go to the moon, literally, or is going to fail miserably. We have yet to see. I think it is a good investment at this price. I'm going to be looking to get involved with this company because I believe in space tourism. I think it's going to be a big industry, maybe not by 2030 by when UBS is saying, but I think it is going to be a huge industry in the future and I want to be involved in it. Virgin Galactic is going to be the Disney World of space tourism. They have that nice hub there where people are going to go get trained, they can stay, they can get charged them for drinks, food. It's going to be an all-inclusive type thing. Tickets are going to be outrageously expensive, but I think over time it's going to be more accessible to your average person, and I think there's a lot of money in this industry. So Virgin Galactic SPCE, I'm slapping a 12-month price target of all-time highs of $40 a share on this stock. Stock number 2 is a SPAC. Yes, a SPAC, a space SPAC. So Momentous is a company that is going to be going public via a reverse merger with the SPAC, ticker SRAC. Stable Road Capital is the company that this Momentous stock is going to be merging with. After the merger, the ticker will be MNTS. This is a different kind of space company versus something like Virgin Galactic, but it is still a company with a ton of growth potential. So the company is currently valued at $1.2 billion. The acquisition is expected to close early next year, with Momentous to be listed on the NASDAQ under ticker symbol MNTS. Momentous pitches itself as a last mile delivery. So we've heard last mile delivery in the past, Workhorse, for example, or spacecraft, especially targeting the growing market for small satellites. So basically, satellites have to get to space somehow. You have a rocket, take them into orbit. So Momentous's aircraft will be waiting on the rocket. They'll get the satellite and then they'll take it to its final destination, aka last mile delivery. And we all can imagine that getting a satellite into space and delivering it to its destination is going to be an expensive thing to do. So there's a lot of revenue in this sector, in this industry. The company aims to be cash flow positive by 2023, when it forecasts annual revenue will exceed $500 million. Momentous already has a rideshare partnership with SpaceX. They also have some customers and partners that are really big in the sector. NASA, Lockheed Martin, a huge player in this sector. So basically, here's how it works, right? You have the rocket with the satellite, get it into orbit, then Momentous's thing comes in, takes the satellite to its final destination. And they're going to charge for doing that, obviously, and that is their business model. Innovative company. We love innovative companies on the channel. You guys have heard me talk about software as a service and why I love the business model, because you get that reoccurring revenue. Well, Momentous is talking about selling satellites as a service. So we would get reoccurring revenue. Traditional satellite platforms cost $10 million a year, while theirs would cost $1 million a year. So there's obviously an advantage for a consumer to go through Momentous instead of a different satellite provider. So Momentous would have a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Another revenue stream is going to be in-orbit servicing of satellites. So if a satellite goes down in space, obviously you need to get it fixed. You just don't want a dead duck flying around in space. So Momentous has reusable vehicles designed to be capable of performing proximity maneuvers, docking, refueling, and equipped with robotic arms. You have a satellite in space, it dies, it needs to be fixed. Momentous sends its vehicle up into space, it got its robotic arms, fixes the dead satellite, and then charges that company for fixing their satellite. I imagine that is a very pricey fix, not like getting an oil changed at your local car shop. I imagine that is a hefty price tag to get something fixed in space. All right, let's talk numbers. Let's get right to it and talk some numbers and see if this is a good buy or not. So remember, it's going to market with a valuation of $1.2 billion. You guys know I like to look at price to sales ratio when looking at growth stocks, because you can always cut cost and increase your net income, but it's hard to get that revenue up. It's harder to increase revenue than it is to increase profit. So I like to look at price to sales ratio when looking at growth stocks. So let's look at the projected revenue and compare it to our price, what we're trading at right now. By the year 2024, they're expecting a revenue of $1.2 billion, which would give it a 1-to-1 price to sales ratio. So in this sector, that is very low. So by the year 2024, I think the price to sales ratio should be 2-to-1. So that would mean a 100% increase by 2024. Let's look at 2027. We have a $4 billion expected revenue. So I think we should have a price to sales ratio of around, let's give it at 3. A growth stock like this, a price to sales ratio of 3 is not horrible. So we're looking at even a price to earnings ratio of 0.5 by the year 2027. I think that needs to go up by at least 10x, right? So if they can hit their expected revenue, we're looking at a 10x stock, 1,000% bagger by the year 2027. That is very speculative. It's not always that these companies are hitting their expected revenue. They could have misses and those numbers could be off. So I'm not saying this is a guaranteed lock 1,000% gainer, but it's going to market at 1.2 billion. If they have net income earnings of 4 billion by 2027 like they expect, that would give this company a price to earnings ratio, a PE, of just 0.25 by the year 2027. That is way too low. It's a 10x stock if it can hit its numbers. So obviously, I think it's a good investment. I don't think the company is lying. projecting their expected revenue. So I do believe this to be a good investment. Let's talk about 12-month price target. I'll give it 100% run. It's too cheap based on projected revenue, projected earnings growth. It's just too cheap. So a 12-month price target of $20 a share. The third and final stock in the space sector that I really like is Boeing, ticker BA. Boeing, baby. Not a lot of people think of this company as a space stock, but they are in the space industry. They have a foothold in it. And this is a company with deep ties into the government, so we can count on some government money flowing into Boeing Space. The future of space is built here with experience gained from supporting every major U.S. endeavor to escape Earth's gravity. We're designing and building the future of safe, assured space exploration and commercial access, even as we lead the digital transition of the satellite industry for both government and commercial customers around the globe. That government money, baby. You can charge the government as much as you want and they're gonna pay it. Boeing has some deep ties, some big government contracts, and that is going to help them get their space program, this space money, off and running. Here are some of Boeing's products and services regarding the space industry. We have the Boeing Satellite Family, Global Positioning System, GPS, Resilient Aerospace Connectivity, International Space Station, Space Launch System, Gateway, a spaceship looking thing, CST Starliner. So Boeing obviously has a foothold in the space industry. They also are in the defense sector. So defense and putting like anti-nuclear warheads in space, where if somebody launches a nuke, Boeing has a satellite that has an anti-nuke that meets and connects and blows it up in air. It's crazy stuff that Boeing's involved with. It's a company that has been beaten down by the Rhinoceros Rex. If we take a look at the chart, it rolled over due to Rhinoceros Rex, all the airlines getting beaten down, canceling a bunch of orders with their jets. Airlines don't need jets right now, right? Why would you need a jet if your airline is getting beaten down? Nobody's flying. Everybody's doing Zoom business, telecommuting. So Boeing got really hurt by the Rhinoceros Rex. So we're getting it at a discount. It's trading about at a 50% off discount versus just 6-7 months ago, right? So I think this is a good long-term buy. It may take it some years to get back to where it was, but I think eventually we're going to see everything come together and this stock come back and become stronger than it ever was before. I like Boeing as a long-term investment. I think it's more than a 12-month hold. I think we're looking at a 3-year recovery, 3, 4, 5-year recovery, but I think it's a good long-term buy. I think the other two stocks, the first two stocks, are higher growth investments, right? They're startups. Obviously, they have more growth potential, but I think Boeing will get back to where it was before. I hope you guys liked the video. That's going to wrap it up. They're going to the moon, baby. My top 3 space stocks. If you liked the video, like the button. If you're not yet a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I love all of you guys. And until next time, I'll catch y'all on the next one. And peace.